Now, news about Kenya Airways' shocking 25.74 billion shilling loss continues making headlines 3 days after the airline released its full-year results. The historic loss was fueled by a combination of exponential growth that did not translate into returns and left the national carrier bleeding. So what is the way forward? KTN's business reporter sat down with a panel who shared their views on how the national carrier can regain its lost wings.
So should Kenya Airways lease, or should they own some of the aircrafts that they operate?
In my view, KQ had no business owning the fleet,
yeah,
because it's very expensive, and for your balance sheet, it usually affects your balance sheet. For me, they should have just leased, and for that, the ones that are still operational and they're in their books, they should sell and lease it back, release some of the cash to use it in. And the other thing is also that now we can see it's no longer sustainable to have any more debt in their balance sheet, and the rights issue is out of the way. No one is going to. It's highly geared. So for me, they should also look for a strategic partner, an investor.
Where is it time that perhaps KLM exited as a shareholder of this airline?
I think the strategic partnership is no longer strategic. I think they need to cut their losses with KLM. We're seeing they're also struggling within their universe, and some of the problems that the KQ is facing has been onboarded to them by KLM. So there is some contention between that partnership. I do think we need to look for a more wider strategic partnership, possibly even in terms of if we see equity injection or capital injection from another strategic partner, that can be shooted into equity within the long run instead of KQ or incurring more debt. In regards to the bailout issue, I think the government is setting a bad precedence in general by bailing out most companies that are untenable. I think the issue with Kenya Airways is that yes, there is that whole too big to fail syndrome, but we need to know that Kenya Airways is intrinsically shaped within a wide sphere of the economy. Yep. They are supporting local businesses throughout, and I do think that the amount of economic support that Kenya Airways brings is more equitable than most of the other companies that have bailed out.
CEO Mbuvi was on the interview and actually saying we're actually on debt to pay staff. So you look at it from a cash flow management kind of position. What next?
Well, their problem is primarily operational, and they have got to maintain their fleet at an optimal level. I think for me the biggest hurdle right now is try to get the average cabin factor up to plus 70-something% from where it is right now. And the one way to do that is to boost their marketing, review their marketing strategy. But I think they should also concurrently think about, downsizing.
As we wind up, what next for KQ? What should happen? What do you want to see in the next even 6 months? Just to give assurance that this airline is headed in the right direction.
Yes, and the question about the bailout, because Kenya Airways, for us, I really think it's important for Kenya Airways to survive. The mistakes that have been made in the past, because strategically where Kenya Airways is placed, it's at an advantage in terms of connecting even West Africans to the Far East. So the losses, yes, they're there, but to me, because I'm convinced it's mismanagement, I feel if government is to be an active partner, because what they've been doing is sitting in the board and really not participating having an interest in whether Kenya Airways is doing well or not. So if they are going to bail out Kenya Airways, which they should, because I don't think we should allow the airline to go down, they should ensure that whoever is running that company has the necessary experience, and this one I've insisted on because it's in the operations manual. The requirements are there. So why get somebody who knows nothing about the airline industry, especially now when you're in a hole? If you want to get out of that hole, get somebody who knows how to climb out. So for me, I think we should do our best to ensure that the airline survives. However, there need to be changes. Otherwise, as I said before, it's pouring water into a bucket full of holes.